Most people live their entire lives trapped inside an invisible prison built by their own thoughts. They collapse under pressure, break at the first sign of criticism, and let fear dictate every single move they make. But history's greatest Stoics possessed a hidden secret, a mental framework that made them completely unbreakable, immune to emotional pain, and mentally limitless. What if the boundaries holding you back aren't real? What if your exhaustion, anxiety, and self-doubt are actually voluntary choices you make every day? Hello everyone, welcome to the Stoic Hypnosis channel. In this video, we reveal the forgotten Stoic discipline used by emperors and warriors to forge a mind that cannot be shaken by any crisis. This isn't basic self-help. This is the master key to unlocking infinite mental power. Watch until the absolute end, because the final Stoic secret will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about your own limits. Now, let's get started. Part 1. The Dichotomy of Control, Unlocking the First Key. Look honestly at your life right now. How much of your vital energy are you wasting every day on things entirely outside your reach? You obsess over other people's opinions, panic over unexpected failures, and drown in regret over a past you cannot rewrite. The Stoics understood a harsh truth. Your suffering does not come from external chaos, but from your foolish illusion that you can control it. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who rose to instruct emperors, laid down the foundational law of an unbreakable mind, the dichotomy of control. You must divide your entire reality into two strict categories: what is within your power and what is not. Your thoughts, your decisions, and your responses are yours. Everything else, other people's actions, the economy, the future, is completely out of your hands. When you stop trying to bend the outside world to your will, a radical transformation occurs. You stop being a helpless victim. You stop bleeding mental energy on phantom battles. To forge a limitless mind, you must ruthlessly sever emotional attachments to external outcomes. Command your internal world, and the external world loses all power over you. Part 2. The Alchemy of Perception, Turning Obstacles into Fuel. Part 1 taught you to stop bleeding energy on what you cannot control. But Part 2 is where ordinary strength transforms into an invincible mind, mastering the alchemy of perception. Most people view obstacles, heartbreak, and unexpected crises as tragedies designed to destroy them. When life strikes, they collapse and cry out, "Why is this happening to me?" But a mind trained in Stoicism flips this narrative completely. Marcus Aurelius wrote a truth that echoes through centuries. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. To a Stoic, suffering is not a tragedy, it is fuel. Every devastating failure, every cold betrayal, and every grueling hardship is a brutal arena designed to forge your character. You do not curse the storm, you use its force to push you forward. This is the ancient art of amor fati, not just accepting your fate, but loving it. When you stop fearing pain and begin using every single obstacle as raw fire to forge your strength, you become impossible to defeat. If these uncomfortable truths are awakening something inside you, it means you belong to the rare few who choose strength over comfort. Do not let this wisdom fade into the noise of the world. Subscribe to join our community of modern Stoics, hit the like button to help this message reach those who need it, and comment "I control my mind" below to declare your commitment today. Now, let's step into Part 3. Part 3. Premeditatio MALORUM, Eradicating Fear Before It Happens. Most human beings live in perpetual anxiety because they spend their entire lives running from the shadow of what if. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if I am left completely alone? Fear thrives in the unknown, and as long as you run from loss, you remain its hostage. The Stoics used a radical tool to shatter this weakness: Premeditatio malorum, the deliberate meditation on bad outcomes. Instead of hiding from your worst nightmares, you step directly into them. Seneca famously advised, "If you would not have a man flinch when the crisis comes, train him before it strikes." Every morning, mentally visualize the absolute worst-case scenario. Picture the failure, the loss, the betrayal. This isn't dark pessimism, it is supreme mental preparation. When you face your terror in advance, you strip it of its power to shock you. When real chaos arrives, while the untrained mind panics and bleeds, your mind simply whispers, "I have already conquered this." Master the worst in your mind, and fear dies forever. Part 4. The Inner Citadel, Conquering Your Own Desires and Impulses. A mind that cannot control its own desires is not free. It is a slave to its own cravings. Most people are weak, not because the world beats them down, but because they surrender to cheap comfort. They exchange their peace for instant gratification, validation, and short-term pleasure. Ancient Stoics understood that true mental sovereignty does not come from controlling others, but from absolute mastery over yourself. Seneca advised practicing voluntary hardship, deliberately exposing yourself to discomfort, cold, and restraint when you don't have to. Why? Because when you choose to embrace discomfort on your own terms, you build an impenetrable inner citadel, a psychological fortress that no external temptation can breach. When you conquer your own physical urges, when you can look at temptation and feel absolutely nothing, you break the ultimate chain. A person who rules their own impulses becomes completely immune to manipulation from the outside world. To forge a limitless mind, you must first become your own master. Part 5. Memento Mori, the ultimate key to infinite freedom. Finally, we reach the ultimate Stoic secret, the master key that turns a disciplined mind into an infinite, unbreakable force. Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. To the ordinary mind, mortality is a terrifying shadow, but to a Stoic, it is the ultimate weapon of absolute clarity. Death instantly incinerates petty anxieties, fragile egos, and meaningless distractions. When you live with the quiet awareness that your time is fleeting, you stop caring about small insults, temporary failures, and the noise of external opinions. This is where true limitlessness is born. You realize you have nothing to lose, because everything in this life is borrowed time. A limitless mind is not one that feels no pain. It is one that sees through the illusion of chaos, stands unshaken in the storm, and chooses unwavering peace over panic. You now possess the forgotten Stoic framework. Stop living as a prisoner to your emotions. Master your mind, reclaim your power, and become truly unstoppable. Conclusion. Building a limitless mind is not about becoming cold or emotionless. It is about becoming the absolute master of your inner world, so no external storm can ever break you. The core lesson of ancient Stoicism is simple. You cannot control the world, the economy, or how other people treat you. But you possess absolute, unyielding control over how you respond. Starting today, whenever a crisis, betrayal, or failure hits you, pause and ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, let it go. Stop bleeding energy on phantom battles. Treat every hardship as your training ground and choose quiet strength over emotional chaos. That is how you turn philosophy into an impenetrable armor. If this video gave you the perspective you needed today, please subscribe to support the channel and help us continue bringing you life-changing content. Stay sharp, remain unshakable, and master your mind. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.